This might sound a little bit harsh, but that right there is Cody Clemens. He struck out Shohei Ohtani, and honestly, that's probably the highlight of his season because I know he's the son of Roger Clemens and he's got a lot of talent, but he hasn't been very good, so cool moment. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy, and welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Bichette smacked 3 home runs in one single game against the Orioles yesterday, one of the biggest series of the year. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, they both went yard yesterday, and Juan Soto, he's getting booed by the fans in San Diego. Yeah, that happened. Just a reminder, if you guys are going to any last minute baseball games or concerts, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. Now, I'm not going to lie to everyone, I am beginning to run out of words to describe Shohei Ohtani. He homered in the 3rd inning for his 31st of the year. Mike Trout then hit his 30th in just 95 games. He has been amazing this year when healthy. He now has a career OPS back at 1,000, and that's through 5,000 at-bats. Jose Suarez has been incredible lately, by the way. I think he has a 1.7 ERA and 39 strikeouts over his last 41 innings. And Ohtani, he decided to spice things up even more after blasting his 2nd of the night. The Halos win big. And look at this Jeff Passan tweet. Shohei Ohtani has been 2 players in 1. Offensively, he's been Mookie Betts. On the pitching side of things, he's basically, not all the way, but he's basically been Shane McClanahan. The only man that can stop him is Aaron Judge. The trend continues. If we talk about Shohei Ohtani, we have to talk about the Yankees and Aaron Judge because they are literally refusing to stop making history between the both of them. Like every single day, they're just trading records and trading records. All right, let's talk about the Yankees in general. Josh Donaldson pimped an RBI single, and then he got thrown out because he pimped what he thought was a home run, and then he got thrown out at second. Marwin hit a Yankee Stadium special, and my goodness, Gary, he must have felt right at home because this ball went 473 feet. That is the furthest home run in Yankee Stadium this year, but ultimately it didn't matter because it was Judgment Day. Aaron Judge smoked his 54th home run of the year. He is on pace to surpass Roger Maris's Yankee record. Even IKF got in on the action as well with his 2nd home run of the year. So again, Shohei has basically been 2 different superstars in one player. He's going to be the first $50 million player in history if it's not Aaron Judge. And speaking of Aaron Judge, he's on pace to become the first member of the 60 home run, 20 stolen base club. Like, can we have a co-MVP? This is the year to give that out. Because the Yankees beat the Twins, we have to talk about the Guardians and the White Sox. Drew Waters, he made my heart sink with his first career home run. He tied it in the 5th inning. But thank God Cleveland has Josh Naylor. It's basically like having the Hulk in your back pocket. He always seems to come in clutch when we need him the most. That's 17 home runs and 63 RBIs. And this is coming off of a pretty catastrophic injury, so I'm happy for him. Kansas City ended up tying it up in the 8th, and Bobby Witt Jr. snatched the soul directly out of my chest. He should stay at 3rd base because he is not a good defensive shortstop at all. That was one of the most incredible plays I've seen all year. We head to extras where Oscar Gonzalez nearly muscles one out. I don't know how that ball went that far. He has 21 doubles in his first 62 games, and Emmanuel Clase had a scary 10th inning, but he notched his league best 31st save. AJ Pollock has been prime Diamondbacks AJ Pollock the last few days. Dude is flying all over the place in the outfield, and he smoked his 3rd home run in the last 7 games. Elvis Andrus is playing with a fire under his you-know-what as he's back in a playoff race. He had a 2-run bomb just a few days after hitting a grand slam. He has 11 home runs and a 110 WRC+, and he's 32 hits away from 2,000 for his career. Lance Lynn turned in his best start of 2022. He locked up the Mariners over 7 innings, allowing just 1 unearned run while striking out 11. His 4.34 ERA is unsightly, and Lucas Giolito hasn't been good, but Dylan Cease, Lance Lynn, and Giolito, that's a pretty good trio along with Michael Kopech and Johnny Cueto. So if they make the playoffs, I am still afraid of the White Sox. Liam Hendricks wasn't his best self, but he has 30 saves as they snap the Mariners' 7-game winning streak. So if we take a look at the AL Central, it is going to be a bloodbath. Minnesota and Chicago are both within 2 games, and the Cleveland Guardians as well as the Minnesota Twins play each other 8 times over the next 2 weeks. I am going to be stressed 24 hours of the day for pretty much the next 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and travel all the way to Houston, where we have one of the top pitching prospects in baseball making his debut. They call him JV 2.0, and look at the mechanics. It's easy to compare Hunter Brown to JV because Hunter Brown's favorite player growing up was Justin Verlander, so he molded his game after JV, and now he's playing with the guy. Houston scores 1 in the 2nd, and that's all that the rookie needed. Hunter, remember the name by the way, Hunter Brown, he went 6 scoreless with 5 punch-outs. He was throwing sliders at 95.7 miles an hour, which is second to Jacob deGrom for the hardest slider in baseball. Montero had an easy 1-2-3 ninth. The Astros are 1 game away from being 40 games over 500. The Snakes, talking about Arizona, they have been playing some elite baseball as of late. I'm not going to lie. They're getting contributions from everyone. Ryan Nelson made his MLB debut, and fellow rookie Alec Thomas doubled in the game's first run. Another rookie, Stone Garrett, went yard. And again, this was to support the rookie pitcher making his debut, Ryan Nelson, who went 7 shutout with no walks, 7 strikeouts in his debut. That's ultra impressive. You have to tip your cap considering the Padres lineup is not bad at all. Christian Walker doubled the lead on a 2-run single, giving him 77 RBIs and a near 4.5 WAR on the season. So before we talk about what is happening with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles, I want to show the NL wildcard because the Diamondbacks are 8 games back. The Padres and the Phillies have kind of been scuffling over the last few days. And speaking of scuffling, Juan Soto has been terrific for the Padres. Do not get it twisted. He has a .420 on base percentage with the Padres, so he has been very good. But with runners on base, I guess he hasn't come in clutch. And Padres fans, they're getting sick of it. They're booing the guy.
Popped up, waiting, and he makes the catch. It ends the inning. The Padres leave Profar at
Now, again, I would not boo a guy who almost has a 150 OPS plus, but I guess to each their own. Now, one of the biggest series of the year is happening down in Baltimore, and we had a doubleheader to make it even more interesting. Anthony Santander and Teoscar, they traded home runs, and we fast forward to the 8th, where Baltimore, they found themselves down by 2. We'll make it 1 now as Santander hit his second of the night. He has 27 home runs and a 126 OPS plus, one of the most underrated hitters in all of baseball. The only problem, Toronto just doesn't seem to care because Springer, Guerrero, and Bichette, they all single in the 9th inning and they all drive in runs in the process. So through 8 innings, it was pretty close, but it ended up looking not so close after it was all said and done, and nothing changed in game number 2. Bo Bichette had himself a day. He got x-rays after this, and here's what they look like. Boy's got that dog in him. All right, so he had a 3-run blast in the 3rd, and he made sure to pimp it. He knew he had that one. Then he had a second home run in the 6th inning as Biggio also joined him in the home run party. And there's Bo Bichette doing it again. Bo knows 3 home runs in 1 game. He's hitting .393 with 14 RBIs over his last 14 games, so he is back in business. Now, I wanted to show this home run from Adley Rutschman because he nearly has a 4.5 WAR through 87 games. That's his 10th home run, but the Jays have won 5 in a row, so those are devastating losses if you're a Baltimore fan, like completely soul-crushing. They've lost 3 in a row now, and they're 4.5 games back of the Jays for the final wildcard spot. Another pretty critical series coming up. We have the Red Sox versus the Rays. Harold Ramirez immediately tied it after Alex Verdugo went yard, but the Sox, they piled it on a little bit in the 3rd as they reclaimed the lead. Anyways, Michael Walker tossed another quality start with a bunch of strikeouts. He only allowed 2 earned runs, the second to Randy Arozarena in the 5th inning. Recently acquired Juris Familia, I think he was released by the Phillies, picked up by the Red Sox. Yeah, he came in with the lead, and he left without it. Margot and Peralta, they saved the day with RBI singles each, as Peter Fairbanks has not been fair since returning from injury. He has been lights out, so he has 5 saves, and the Red Sox are now 9 games back to the final wildcard spot. With 26 games left, that's going to be tough. Now, we actually had a pretty decent matchup. You had Jack Flaherty making his return from injury, and Anibal Sanchez was doing Anibal Sanchez things. The Nationals got to Jack in the 3rd after Lane Thomas had an RBI ground rule double, and I mean, from there, it just kind of got ugly. Anibal threw 5 shutout innings, and rookie Joey Meneses went 3 for 5 and continues to be one of the more inspiring players I've ever seen. He signed with the Braves at 19 years old back in 2011. He made his debut this year at 30 years old. He now has 11 multi-hit games, 38 hits in his first 29 games, which is the most ever by a Nationals rookie. Kyber Ruiz went yard for the 7th time, and the Nationals, they went easy as they shut out the Cardinals. And last but not least, Adrian Hauser kept the Brew Crew in this one, even though he gave up a ton of runs, only 1 of them was earned. So Milwaukee is going to have to claw their way back into it, and they ended up tying it after a few sac flies. Victor Caratini didn't want a measly sac fly. He wanted all of that pitch, 415 feet for a 3-run shot, as Devin Williams came in and he locked it down for his 10th save. Now, we just saw the Cardinals and the Padres lose and the Brewers win. So Milwaukee is 7.5 games back of first in the Central, and they're 2 games back of the Padres for the wild card. So it looks like the wild card is going to be their best bet. One more thing I want to mention before we get into the web gems, I will be making a donation for every subscriber that we get for the final month of the season. We're already over $50, so every time you hit that subscribe, again, I'm making a donation to Stand Up to Cancer. Thank you guys for being awesome, and enjoy the web gems.
Rounder fair, diving stop Albert. He could still do it.
Next inning, down the line, diving stab, makes the nice feed to James Nail.
To talk to about hitting the course is Harrison gets jammed. Shallow, and Julio is able to hold on. In effect, we all thank Julio for letting us know that he's got it. The concentration, able to get the glove turned upside down. To keep
That one is lined to right field and deep. Cabrera back. He's going to play it off the wall. Celestino's going for two. The throw is in time. What a throw!
Perfect off the wall, coming up, firing an absolute strike to the.
Springer hits one hard to short. It is flagged down by Mateo, spinning, bouncing a throw. Mountcastle on the bag. A spectacular start to this doubleheader.